Hey, how's it going? So this video is kind of old. It's from around December, so it's not completely up to date. I'm not sick. I'm actually sick in the video. I just wanted to say that. I just also wanted to mention, like, I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope you all are taking the right measures and precautions to protect yourself and others, because it is absolutely crazy right now, and I'm self-isolating and quarantining and doing everything just to stay safe. But yeah, I wanted to throw that in there before the video because I didn't want to just put something out there. But yeah, I just want to send you off with that message before we jump into anything. But now that that's out of the way and cleared up, let's get on with the video. So, see you soon. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm super excited to be back. It's been a while for me, not for you. Had a couple of exams, had school. We just passed the Christmas break. It is actually December 29th right now, so it's been a bit of holiday fun, parties here and there. You know, I am sick right now, unfortunately, so bear with me, but I am super excited for the video that's coming at you today. It's gonna be all about used photography gear. Ooh, the scary word or phrase that's tossed around the photography world. It's like, oh, no one ever wants to buy used gear. No one could even fathom it. It has to be new. It has to be untouched. Everything's wrong with used gear. I'm gonna completely clear up that myth today and completely clear any sort of misconceptions you have or any fears you have about buying used gear so you can save a whole lot of money and actually get some really great gear. So I'm excited to do it, and let's jump into it right now. All right, so tip number one is diversify your search. Use multiple search platforms. It definitely depends where you are. So I'm gonna use my location, which is Ontario, Canada. But a lot of these apply to you as well. Like in Canada, we have something called Kijiji, which is like kind of a more local eBay essentially, and you're meeting up with people. It's what I use all the time. It's what I've used to buy almost all of my gear. But you can use eBay, you can use Kijiji, you can use Facebook Market. There's a whole plethora of online marketplaces where you can meet up with people or you can do sort of in-person exchanges. So that's my first tip, is don't just find eBay or find one platform and stick to it because you know it or you have some experience with it. You really have to diversify and make sure you're finding the best deals on all the platforms. What's close to you, what's far, what's in good condition and bad. You really can have a whole array of items to pick from, and that kind of gives you the best chance of finding the best item or the best piece of gear for the best price. Oh, sorry, I'm still getting over this cold. That was bad, I'm sorry. Okay, tip number two, and that is asking the right questions. A lot of times people, myself included, when I first started off, is you see an awesome deal, you can be a little trepidatious at first, going like, this might not be like everything it's chalked up to be because of this or that, but it's so hard not to just go, oh yeah, like you want to get the item. It's so exciting getting new gear, a new piece of equipment that you can use, but make sure you ask the right questions. Like, some great ones are, how long have you had it? Why are you getting rid of it? Is always a great question, because it might be for they're changing their whole setup, they're moving to a different system, or it might be because something's wrong with it, or they don't prefer it for some reason. So it's good to dig a little bit deeper. A couple other great questions are, if they were the first owner, do they have the original receipt, just to see how far this has been passed along the line. And kind of who's owned it and the multiple iterations of people it's gone through. And another one is the line of work it was used in, because a wedding photographer who uses that lens on a weekly or even bi-daily basis, where they're doing events or weddings every day, is going to be put through a lot more than, say, someone who's a passive nature photographer, or someone who goes and takes pictures of their kids or something like that, soccer or whatever. So you have to kind of really get a history of the person, the camera, what it was, or the camera, the lens, whatever it was used for, just to get a real sense of the equipment and what it was and what it came from. And that gives you a really great idea on what the price should be and what you should be getting for it. So that really helps you gauge what you should be asking and what they can be offering. So some great questions to ask. Okay, so tip number three is, well, you know, this is kind of like an overarching theme of all of this, is be safe in all of this business. But three specifically is pick your location right. Pick a safe location, because this isn't buying online, this isn't buying in the store. You're dealing with people on the internet that you don't know. Yes, you can get a good sense of who they are or what they are or what they're buying or where they're from, whatever. But things can still happen. Fortunately, nothing ever has to me. I've taken the right precautions. I've made sure to always meet in public places where there's a lot of people, and take the most amount of precaution. Tell my parents where I'm going, tell my girlfriend my location, and really make sure you're safe, because no piece of gear or item or price or whatever is worth your life or your safety. So make sure that is above and beyond, albeit it's the third point. There's no particular order in this, obviously, but safety is the overarching theme of all of this, because again, you're not dealing with anyone in a store or online. So just make sure you do all the precautions beforehand, so that you're safe, protected, and you can walk away with a great deal and everything else. Tip number 4 is bring the body or lens of whatever you're looking at, or that's compatible with. Sorry, that's a weird way to phrase it. If you're buying a lens, bring a body. If you're buying a body, bring a lens. That's all I'm saying. Bring your own for sure, because people might not have the same lens as you or whatever. Just bring your own of what's compatible with your buying. So again, if you're buying a body, bring a lens that's compatible, that works for sure on that series of cameras, like a Canon lens for a Canon camera and vice versa for body for a lens, whatever. So you can test it out. That is one of the main things there. You never want to leave a deal without trying anything at all. Even if you can just play around with it, take a couple of pictures, you really should, to make sure that you know that the camera's working, that the lens is working fine, there's no focusing issues, there's no kind of body malfunctions, because that can happen to a lot of people. Okay, so for section 4, part 2, which is arguably a little bit more important, is the lenses. So lenses can be a little more tricky when it comes to picking the right one, but I've got 3 or 4 very crucial tips that could help you catch any sort of malfunctions that could cost you a lot of money. Sorry, I've got my sheet here that I'm looking off of because I've got a horrible memory, so I'm going to be looking back and forth with that. So the first one is something that's a bit more complicated, but I'll try and explain it quickly and somewhat simply. But what happens is lenses can back or front focus, which, to break it down very simply, is say you, for like a very shallow depth of field, you go like 1.4, 1.8, you take a picture of someone's eye, and what the camera perceives as locking onto the eye, the lens doesn't. So the lens is either back or front focusing. Let's choose front focusing for this instance. It front focuses to your nose. So I may have covered my mouth there, but it front focuses to your nose. And you don't want that, because if you have a very shallow aperture, and it focuses at something else that you don't want, it's very noticeable, especially on, say, a crop body, where instead of a 50, it's an 85, so it's a lot more pronounced. I've had that happen before on 2 shoots. It was very annoying. I couldn't figure it out. It was on a Sigma lens, so I couldn't bring it into Canon. I didn't have a warranty, and I didn't know what to do, so I kind of had to use that lens as a manual focus lens for a bit. Didn't really want to do that. I had to sell it for, I'm pretty sure, less than half the price I bought it for, so it was a bit of a kick in the nads, but it was a helpful learning lesson that I'm passing on to you that hopefully can help you choose the right lens. So, okay, sorry, one last tip on this lens and body checklist. It's a crucial one that I stepped over for the bodies. You might already know this, and it's the shutter count of the body. A lot of people step over it, can forget about it, but it's a crucial, quintessential thing about when purchasing bodies is knowing the shutter count, because more often than not, these cameras have already been used, taken pictures with, and you have to know what the shutter count of that camera is to begin with, what the lifespan. Like the typical shutter count for most cameras is anywhere from 100,000 to 150,000, the number of actuations they can do. And this doesn't mean the end of the camera, it just means the I actually don't even know what it means. I don't know what the total amount means. I'm pretty sure it just means the best amount of shots you can get out of this camera. So like up until 150, it'll be working fine, and then past there, it's kind of like anyone's game. Like you don't know if it's gonna stop working or if the shutter's gonna malfunction in any sort of way or not react as fast as it normally does. But there is a lifespan of the camera that it's good up until, it's like a best before date essentially. You can eat it up until then, and it's a little bit risky until afterwards, but might still be good. So just something to consider, but also a big factor. So that's why a lot of prices, or a lot of camera prices, can vary a lot if you see a good deal. The last thing on the docket today is number 5, and that is don't accept the first price that you see. That is the most tempting thing you can do, and the biggest mistake that a lot of people make when coming over from buying new all the time to used, or buying your first used thing. You see a great deal, you see the product that you want, you take the first price, boom, and then like a week or two later you see it for $200 less, or $300, or even half the price you bought it for, and you feel like an absolute idiot. And that can happen to anyone. That can happen to the best of us, because we just want the gear so bad, and we just want to start making pictures or videos or using the equipment for whatever we want to, and we don't really research what the retail value is, what anything else that goes into the price. And again, relating back to point 1, using different platforms to find a great price. So a number of ways to find the best price is obviously one, be patient and do your research, but a great thing to do is you're on these sites, you're on eBay, you're on Kijiji, you're on whatever these sites are that you meet with people, bargain with people, like go back and forth with prices. Don't take the first one you can get. Know your stance on it, know your maximum, and well, I guess you don't really have a minimum. You obviously don't want to go too low, because then something might be wrong or there's something shady with that product, but know your maximum and know what you're willing to bargain for. So go back and forth with people, because most people on these sites know that they're going to be kind of bargained with. That's why they say stuff like no low ballers, or best offer, OBO, or stuff like that, or even firm price, which means you either have to take it for that price or something relatively close to it. But make sure that you're kind of going back and forth with them, whether it be online or when you're there. Typically you want to do it a lot more beforehand, saying, hey, what's your price here or there, because people, when they're meeting you, they're assuming when you meet that's the price you're going to exchange it for. That's typically what happens. But beforehand, do all the bargaining, go back and forth, make sure you're getting the best right price for yourself. Another great thing to do is find multiple retail values for this item, because you can go to Amazon, find a lens that's like $8,000, or not $8,000, $800 or $1,000 or $2,000 or something, and you find the retail price plus tax. Make sure all the costs are included on Amazon, on B&H Photo, like anywhere. Go find a multitude of prices. Some places might have sales, some places might have them at regular price, whatever it may be, so that you can go to this person saying, look, hey, this is what I found, I can get this here for this much, what can you do to offer me? Because more often than not, I've been presented with the same thing. If someone finds a really good deal that's close to the number that I have for my item, more often than not, I'll come down. I might not go right away, so I'm like, oh yeah, sure, here's the deal, because I obviously want to make a sale, and I don't want to lose the money I was expecting to make. But there's a good chance I'll come down, because I'm seeing, oh no, this person has this retail price here, I have to kind of compete with that somehow. So make sure you do your research, find a number of retail prices, preferably the lowest one that you can bring this person, or if it's an average of what they might be, and you can go, okay, you're overcharging here a bit, can I bring you down? More often than not, they'll come your way. Sometimes they won't, that's the name of the game, but having a multitude of prices really helps a lot. Alright everybody, thanks for sticking with me through this raspy, sick mess, but I really hope you got something out of this, and I really hope you go out and try your first in-person buying experience, and try and sway a bit from the retail. I'm not saying the whole point of this video is not to say never buy retail. Like I've definitely bought a good number of full price items, not a lot, but a couple. But I'm just saying try it. Give it a try. See how it is. I guarantee, I can almost guarantee you will find a good couple of things that will be priced less, that'll be a really great deal, and you feel good. You feel good that you found a great deal, that you're not spending like half of the price of your car on a lens or a body, and you kind of can save some extra cash for other gear. So, and put that to something that you really want. So try it, let me know how it is. I really appreciate your feedback, any comments below on what you want to see next. I'm always trying to think of video ideas. Any questions you have about this video, I will gladly answer. And yeah, be safe overall. And yeah, enjoy shooting with your new gear and hopefully the extra cash you save. So that is bye for now. I'm going to link my socials down below. Please give them a follow. I'm on Instagram, on Twitter. And yeah, I'll be making another videos soon and I can't wait to keep it going. So thanks and bye for now.